Okay, so you've got your books there, that's your workbook, you get to keep that, you can write on it, do anything you want with it, just don't leave it here. AAA is out of Florida, and they're the ones that put this program together. You're not gonna see a whole lot of things about bus driving in here. This is really about you becoming the best driver that you can be. And we require it every 3 years, so you'll have to renew it every 3 years. And you can take your certificate to your insurance company, and then they are required to give you some kind of a discount on your insurance. It's not a whole lot, it wasn't a whole lot for me, but it's, okay. You are a professional driver, but believe you can get better. It's not much about this isn't much about your bus driving skills, but it's about you as a regular driver and how you respond to problems and conflicts caused by other road users. We get to see that firsthand as professional drivers. We see that every day. On the page, bottom of the page 4, you'll see, or it's right in the middle, you'll see a little graph there to rate yourself as a driver. So how terrible are you? If you're really terrible, put a 1, and if you're an excellent driver, put a 10. So you get to rate yourself on there.
In a bus or in our car?
As a driver. Overall, bus, car, how good are you? FYI, when asked to rate themselves in a survey, almost 850 people in the U.S., almost 2 out of every 3 drivers rated themselves as excellent or very good drivers. And did you know that men are more likely to rate themselves higher than women are? So how accurate are we really? So we're going to start with this short quiz at the top of page 4. We'll have some questions and then write your answers down there. So potential benefits of vehicle safety technology system include A, B, C, or D. Fewer crashes and injuries, not having to pay close attention to driving, arriving at your destination sooner, or more economical and efficient driving. What do you think it is?
A.
How about A and D?
Was it multiple?
Yeah, well, this one is. Fewer crashes and injuries or more economical, efficient driving. Second question, looking and seeing are the same as they relate to driving, true or false?
False.
Correct, it is false. Number 3, which of the following are factors in selecting the driving at a reasonable and prudent speed? A, B, C, or D? How well you can see, whether your GPS tells you police are nearby, your tire's grip on the road surface, how many other drivers are there, and the speed that they are traveling. The answer is A, C, and D. But it is not whether the GPS tells you that the police are nearby. Question number 4. Driving without enough sleep can affect a driver's ability in much the same way as a person driving while impaired by alcohol. True or false?
True.
It is true. And 5, vulnerable road users include pedestrians, bicyclists, motorcycle riders, or all of the above. That would be all of the above. That is correct. One, if you could sign in here. And this is your book and your evaluation sheets. And if you do not have a shred that page, help yourself to one there. We're on page 4. We've already done the quiz, and now we'll get into it. So how did you do? Did you do well? So modern technology is something we're going to talk a lot about, and we have to learn to keep up. On that page in the front, what modern technologies do you have on your vehicle that you're driving right now? Some of the advantages, they're more efficient, they use less fuel, they emit less pollution, that kind of thing. They have the tire pressure monitoring system, which, I don't know, sometimes mine works, but in the change of seasons, it kind of fluctuates, it gets harder, or, you know, when it gets cold, my monitor goes off on my tire pressure. But it is kind of nice because it does tell me what my pressure is, and then I can go get my pressure. Did anybody have adaptive headlights? Yeah, those are kind of hard to get used to too, but they're kind of fun as you go around corners and they move. Blind spot warning, I like that, really like that. Adaptive cruise control, not such a big fan of that. I don't want it moving, I don't want lack of control on there. So out of the technologies that you have, rate the efficiency and what you like about their, or, you know, put it all together in your mind. Are they good? Or the effectiveness, are they good or are they not so good? 1 being no, don't trust them, don't use them. 10 being yep, use them, trust them, rely on them. The techniques and how we respond to specific situations has changed. All states now have the move over laws requiring drivers to slow down or move over as much as they approach emergency vehicles. And as professional drivers, we're more exposed to more risk on the road because we're driving more. All the exposure leads us to the factors into why the number of people killed each year in motor vehicle crashes ranges from about 32,000 to 43,000. The number of motor vehicle related fatalities have been on the increase for over the past 10 years. When it comes to impaired driving, alcohol impairment remains a huge factor. More than 1 out of every 4 drivers killed were legally intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of 0.08% or higher. And so the one thing that we're doing with this, and one thing we can do, is develop good driving habits. So on page 4 at the bottom, what are your good habits? What do you do to make sure that you have no crashes, that you're not involved in any of those things? So you've got a column for good habits and a column for bad habits. Some of the things they offer are maybe communicating effectively. That would be using your turn signals. You use your turn signals every single time you make a turn, correct? Bus, car, whatever vehicle. Driving courteously. Don't drive like a crazy wild person. Anybody see that video where the lady got out of the car and was really angry at the other one and knocking the other one around and there was a huge fight? It was crazy. I don't know what I'm going to do when TikTok goes away. Do you adjust your speed during rain, or do you just fly like crazy through the rain? Yeah, I don't know. Do you get enough sleep? Try to. Bad habits. How about tailgating? Are you a tailgater?
No.
There better not be any tailgaters in here.
No.
You speed. Fail to yield the light right away. Do you drive after you've consumed alcohol? Now, I know I'm not talking to any of you guys in here, but write a couple of those down. Are you a good example or a bad example? That little vehicle is my car. That was someone pulling up and creating a lane for someone else to come through. You remember this. You had to teach CPR for me that day because that's
I saw it.
that's what happened. Yeah, I know. Do you stop and create a lane for people to go through? Because that lady next to me did, and the lady didn't see me coming and smashed right into me.
Is that your car?
Yeah, that's my car.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That did. So getting enough sleep, not being distracted can lead to those crashes. We don't want that.
Is that yours too?
Yeah, that's your car too.
No, that was my first car. No,
That's your car.
no, it's not. Are they accidents or crashes? Here's some authentic statements included in collision reports filed by people involved in traffic accidents. That pedestrian was all over the road. I had to swerve several times before I hit her. That's an actual statement. My SUV was legally parked as I backed it into the car behind. I was sure my window was down, but I quickly learned it wasn't when I put my head through it. I kept it, to keep from crashing into the car ahead, I struck a pedestrian. Those are actual statements. So, on page 5 of your workbook, you'll see that little round dial there. You'll see a circle contains some more common and real-world factors involved in crashes today, and 3 icons. You got your driver steering wheel up at the top right, and the road at the bottom right, and then the car on the left side there. And then in the circle, we'll start with, what do we start with? We start with brake loss. What could be the cause of the brake loss? Would it be the driver, the steering wheel? Would it be the road down in the corner? Or would it be the car?
The car.
Yeah, that would be the car. And then we'll go with sharp curve. Sharp curve. Is that the road, the driver, or the car?
The road.
That's not the road. A sharp curve cannot cause a crash. The driver's in charge of that.
That's true.
Yeah, what should you do in a sharp curve?
Slow down.
You should
Slow down.
slow down. Next one would be icy road.
That's right.
That should be your driver. And what should you do? It should, on an icy road? Slow down, that's your driver. Then we got to low tire pressure. That's your road, vehicle, or driver?
Car.
That would be, yeah, well, that would be you. You should know your tire pressure. Me, you want me in there, in the wheelchair? Okay, and then debris on the road.
That'll be the highway.
Yeah, that could be the road. You could draw a line from the debris to the road, or you could draw driver too. I mean, if you see it, you can avoid it if you see it.
What did you say, low tire pressure, what?
Driver. You should know your tire pressure if your tires are low before you head out. And if you're pulling out of your driveway, you can tell if you've got low tire pressure. Wet roads. That's your driver. And changing lanes. That's your
So
driver.
everything is driver, except one.
Everything is driver except probably debris on the road.
And brake on.
And brake loss, that could be just your vehicle. Generally, I don't know that I've ever ran into somebody that had their brake loss, but probably during the road. How about hydroplaning? 9 out of 10 crashes involve some form of human error, true story. A student tells the instructor, my car just hydroplaned. So you were driving too fast on the conditions, and the student says, no, my car just hydroplaned. So the instructor says, as I said, you were driving too fast for these conditions. If you want to argue the results of a crash and the factors, you are probably part of the problem. Rain and wet roads do not cause crashes, nor do sharp curves, icy roads. You are the one that causes the crash. It's not the water's fault. You decide how you drive. 4 collision concept. What happens in a crash? There's 4 impact events in a single crash. This is called the 4 collision concept. Number 1 is the impact. The second impact is the occupant's body hits the vehicle's interior surface, such as the dashboard, steering wheel, door panels, or window, and the occupant's bodies may even collide with each other, causing even more injury. The third impact is the occupant's interior organs slamming against the hard surface inside the body, such as the skull or other parts of their skeleton. And the fourth impact is any loose objects in the vehicle that may slam into the occupant, such as unbelted rear passenger, a backpack, laptop, bag of groceries, that type of thing. So let's reduce your collision risk. Part 1, risk is always present. You are at risk every minute you're on the road. 1 out of 5 crashes occurs at where? Anybody?
Intersections.
Intersections.
That's in Arizona.
Oh, really?
You have to go back to 60, after that is Arizona in the mountains, Superstition Springs.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You get an A+. So we're gonna watch an example of an intersection crash here. There is sound. on that. I'm gonna turn this on.
What were you saying, Michelle? I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, the prior picture was taken in Arizona?
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I know that, I know that.
Maybe this one does not.
What city was it?
Look down to Mesa, Apache Junction area.
So did you see where the crash came from? It's over here.
She got a green light and the other car.
Yeah, so easy to happen. Less well known is the same proportion of crashes occur on freeways. This might be a reason. Anybody ever seen anybody put on makeup?
Reality.
Yeah, see that? Just lost control. Drivers often underestimate the risk. Looks like he's looking down at his phone. He's extremely calm during that.
Yeah.
There's almost always actions you can take to reduce your risk. So AAA has developed the Read the Road approach to reducing risk. So on your workbook, on page 5, you see the little box there with READ. So READ each has a word to help us remember to reduce our risk. R is right speed for right now. You can write that on that line. What does right speed for right now mean? For example, when a road is wet, your tires lose about 1/3 of their traction. That's why you should reduce your speed on wet roads. Adjust your speed to local conditions. Speed limits are the maximum speed you may drive in a clear, dry condition. It may not be safe to drive that speed limit, and the speed you drive a road today might not be safe speed on the same road tomorrow. E, eyes up, brains on. What does eyes up mean? Seeing everything around you. If you don't see it, you can't avoid it. The goal is to have 100% situational awareness at all times that you are driving. Paying attention to driving and not other things while driving, no distractions. Keeping your brain focused on driving is the goal. Driving is easy for most of us. It's simply common sense. That's why we become complacent and think that it's okay to use your phone or adjust your navigating system or text. I know none of us in here do that. A is anticipate their next move. You should anticipate what other road users might do next. If you're me, I don't trust anybody's turn signal. I just wait to see what they're gonna do. Predicting what other drivers do, what they do next, what they will do, what you will do if they do something crazy. Assume other drivers can't see you at all. Never be surprised. And D, big donut of space around you. Always keep a huge amount of space around your vehicle, like your own personal vehicle, donut, with you in the middle. As space is a driver's best friend. The more space you have around your vehicle, the better that you are. And if somebody takes a bite out of your donut and moves into your space, reestablish your space. And always fight for that. So there you go. Anybody need me to keep that up for any minute? Got it all? So we're always to be reading our road. So what's going on in this picture?
You got a car to your right that's pulled over.
Looks like there's snow on the ground, so it could be ice on the road.
Your stop sign?
Stop sign.
So we're looking at that
Double
area
stop sign.
right there. That's where our eyes are focusing back and forth. In each module, we have one of these read the roads. When I hit the go button, it's gonna do a countdown. It's gonna flash a picture at you, and you're supposed to look at the picture and then tell me what all you saw in that picture in that flash of a second. So what did you see?
Construction.
Construction.
There's a cone out in the middle, on the side of the road. On the left side, there's a truck, and then there's another truck facing that way.
On the side.
Look at the barrier.
So that's the
Or
picture.
of the-
So as professional drivers, it's sometimes you only get a snapshot for a second, so anticipating what they're gonna do. Narrow bridge right here. Can you see my mouse? You can't see my mouse. Narrow bridge, got vehicles coming from the opposite direction, vehicles parked there. Best thing to do is to slow down as you're going through this situation. Personal driving plan is on page 27 in the back of your book. As you go through things today, if you see something or hear something that you really thought was something that you really want to think about some more, write it down on this back page. Do more of, do less of, do none of, my top 5. Those are kind of your personal driving plan that they want you to have. Okay? End of module 1. Now we'll do a chapter assessment. At the bottom of page 5, it is the salmon colored boxes. I have yet to figure out what the ABCD is on this side. There's no answers for this box right here, as far as I can tell. Okay? Question number 1, for what reason might a person participate in a AAA driving improvement program? A, B, C, or D is the answer. To obtain an auto insurance premium reduction benefits as a result of a traffic citation issued because of a moving violation. A business owner requires its employees to be trained before driving company vehicles. D. It's all of the above. Most U.S. traffic crashes are linked to the vehicle, driver, roadway, weather. It is, oops, sorry, it went too fast. Or I went backwards, didn't I? It is B, driver. Drivers often blank the risk. Underestimate, overestimate, exaggerate, or forget.
Underestimate.
Is underestimate, A. Which component of RAD, the road, is most closely linked to paying attention while driving? Right speed for right now, eyes up, brains on, anticipate their next move, or big donut of space?
B.
It is B. Question number 5, as discussed in the program, a valuable resource for reducing your risk behind the wheel is a private diary, blog or podcast, personal driving plan, or a casual friend.
C.
It would be C on page 27 is your personal driving plan that you're going to use. We're on to module 2. We're on page 6. I don't know how to link all of these together for them to play one right after the other in these little modules, so we have to wait for it to load. So I'll figure that out. All right, now our chapter 2 is your vehicle safe and reliable and road ready for today's roads. Question number 1, properly positioned, a vehicle's head restraints can help prevent crash injury to a vehicle occupant's neck, head, upper back, or all of the above.
All the above.
All of the above.
These are the 3 up top.
Sorry?
These are the 3 little boxes up top, right?
Yes, at the top of page 6, the 1, 2, and 3. Question number 2, which of the following should you do each time before driving to assure your vehicle is road ready? Inspect the spare tire tread and measure inflation, check the engine oil level, quickly review traffic laws in your state's driver manual, or none of these?
A.
You're waiting. None of these. Question number 3. A vehicle's tires are the most blank, yet the most blank vehicle component.
Important and overlooked.
Important and overlooked, expensive, overrated, risky, underrated, attractive, or underappreciated. It is important and overlooked. Thank you, Juan. Personal key points. On page 7, it gives you a box. So if you find anything particularly interesting, you can write it in that box. Let's talk about making it ready. Before you drive, you pre-trip. We're bus drivers, we're vehicle drivers, but do you pre-trip your own vehicle? Wipe off the sensors. My backup camera needs to be wiped off right now. Look for fluid leaks, body visual damage, dents or crushed bodywork, loose items or debris. I don't do this in my garage. I probably should. Windshield cracks, chips, pits, and side rear windows, perhaps old crinkly window tinting, blocking. Who checks their wipers before the rain? I always check my wipers in the rain, not before,
Check them every 3 months.
every 3 months.
Well, some people believe driving starts when they put their vehicle into gear.
That's too loud.
Safe driving actually begins before you even get into the vehicle. The first step is all about the approach as you move toward your vehicle and before you get in. Check the area around to make sure nothing will be in your path when you begin to move your vehicle, even if your vehicle is equipped with a backup camera system. It's also a good idea to check the car itself for signs of damage or mechanical problems underneath, such as leaking fluids. All of this only takes a few seconds, and you'll be glad you checked things out first.
So create a pre-trip habit as you approach, even as you approach your vehicle. So be alert to movement, other people, bad guys. Walk well away from other vehicles. Mostly we don't do that unless we're in a parking garage. They kind of creep me out anyway. Where should your hand be as you're walking up to your vehicle?
In your keys. On
And
your
with
keys.
your keys. Mhm. Don't stand by your vehicle and dig out your keys. That's a problem. That makes you vulnerable and dangerous. Have your finger above the panic alarm button in case of an emergency. Activate it even if it ends up being a false alarm. It's not a big deal. All windows down half. I don't know, maybe you know if your keys do this, it's according to your vehicle. Some key fobs are also capable of lowering all your vehicle's windows and opening the sunroof outside the car. So this is your homework. See if your vehicle key fob will open all your windows at the same time. Sometimes, some of them are, you press the unlock button once and then press it again and hold it down within 10 seconds of the first press. Keep the button pressed will allow all the windows to roll down at the same time. So like if you were in a really hot place and you wanted to cool your vehicle down really quick, that would work. I've yet to try that on mine. Alarm buttons from inside your home. This actually stopped somebody, got somebody out of my, that was robbing my husband's truck. He accidentally hit the key fob that was on his nightstand and it went off and they left the door open and we saw a shadow running away, but didn't catch the guy, so, yes.
If you're in an area where you don't feel safe, you do not want to, even though it's hot, you do not want to open all your windows, because you get in that car, that person's going to come and choke you and tell you to get out of that car,
Yeah,
because the windows are open.
You gotta be aware of your surroundings. I was thinking when I'm parked at the beach, you know, and I've had a long day at the beach and I'm gonna come back, I'm just messing with you. Tires are the most important yet the most neglected part of the vehicle, and you told me flat tires should be obvious. Tire inflation pressure, improperly inflated tires wear faster, whether they're overinflated or underinflated. They also increase the chance of you losing control of your vehicle because of that tire's reduced grip on the road. Typically, a passenger's car's PSI requirement is between 30 and 35 PSI. What is it on the bus?
No more than 120.
Thank you. Ms. Raines. These two tires are from one side of the same vehicle. One is underinflated and the other is properly inflated. Can you tell which one is underinflated?
The one on the left.
One on the left.
Not really.
The visual inspection doesn't always reveal a low tire on an air pressure.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
She did well though, yeah.
Yep, you get the gold star. Whoops. Oh, gosh. Here we go.
Finger.
I know, my little finger needs to slow down. Tread depth. On wet surfaces and in snow and mud, the depth of the grooves of the tire tread is a critical traction factor. You've got a new tread depth gauge. You have no excuse for not using it. If you don't know how to use your tread depth gauge, go talk to Alicia. She knows how to do it.
Because the amount of air in your tires is critical to the safety of everyone in your vehicle, be sure to check your tires' pressures regularly. Once a month is a good rule of thumb. A tire gauge is cheap, but knowledge of your tire's inflation status can be invaluable. You can find your vehicle's recommended air pressure in the owner's manual or on a placard on the driver's door jamb. Also critical is your tire's tread depth, or how deep the grooves and channels are in your tires. These grooves are what evacuates water from under the tires when the roads are wet. Tires with enough tread are more likely to stay connected to the road. Tires with low tread depth have much less traction in wet conditions, increasing the risk to you and your occupants. There's a simple way you can check if the tread on your tires is adequate. Place a quarter into several tread grooves across the width of the tire surface area. If part of George Washington's head is not visible, that tire has adequate tread depth. If the top of Washington's head is exposed at any point, the grooves are not deep enough and that tire should be replaced. Let's see what can happen in wet weather if your tires do not have enough tread. You are behind a driver who has allowed his tires' tread to wear down to an unsafe level. As you can see, without enough tread depth, traction loss can occur at the worst times.
Quarter test. At the bottom of page 6, which quarter is showing that the tire has plenty of tread? Circle the coin showing which one has plenty of tread. It would be that one.
Ms. Joy,
Yes.
never rely on the TPMS on your car, always check the pressures anyways. We had a trailer,
Why would it be the right?
we had a trailer that had TPMS gauges on it. The tire came off, and the alarm never went off saying that we lost that tire. The whole tire came off.
Those are a mechanical piece of equipment that does that, so that can go out.
So, and the other one went flat, and it didn't show that it was flat. So, when we got out to check what was going on, because we saw the tire pass us by, so we pulled over. And the other tire was flat, and the TPMS didn't show that it was flat.
All right, this is an interesting video, so I like showing this one.
While tires provide years of service, they all eventually wear out and need to be replaced. The real question is when. Feedback from drivers concerned about less traction as their treads wore down told us it was time to measure the performance of the tires with different tread depths. Our test compared several sets of the same tires with new, worn, and nearly legally worn out tread depths. A new tire features deep grooves that channel water through the footprint to provide wet traction. Like most passenger car tires, our test tires began with 10 to 30 seconds of an inch of tread depth. The reduced depth of a worn tire's grooves restricts the amount of water that can